Mr. Sharpe. I'm gonna
She
call
said
him
it was
Mr.
25,000 per cheek.
What cheek? First of
That's
all,
what she said. That was the first offer. Was 25,000 per
Yo, she
cheek.
was playing with him like, yo, you gonna come get this? Yo, the new. All right, so where are we? Y'all up to date on the new information?
What's it? Well,
what's the latest?
The new information is, she sent him a text and was like, yo, I didn't want to have. You took the condom off and you forced it in my bunkie.
it just forced.
And if that, and he was like, call me. Like he didn't.
That's the
Like,
best.
I don't
want
wanna
no
hang I don't
messages.
want to hang the black man out to dry, but
Well, they said that he's the one that broke the NDA by putting her name out there.
of course I would. I would have done the same thing.
They said that
The
they
NDA would have stuck if he didn't do that because she was a Jane Doe, and he also quote unquote doxed her by giving everybody the OnlyFans.
Yes, but the NDA. What? Why do we care about an NDA if you publicly now are accusing me of something, and if he's saying he didn't do it, so we it's still up in the air if he did or he didn't. We are now allowing cowardly shit to happen behind closed doors, where you can accuse me of some heinous act and still keep your anonymity. So now I'm getting death threats. I'm getting all this stuff. I'm getting my family, my kids is getting teased in school, and you have the benefit of keeping your anonymity. I don't think that's fair. You suing me for 50 mil? Cool. Allegedly, what I heard was they went to Jay and said, yo, I have somebody that's going to bring you in on a puff case unless you settle out.
Yep.
And now that person gets to remain to be a Jane Doe? That's not fair because, fam, now you might not even have a person.
Yeah.
You might not even have a person. You could have potentially made up a story that don't even exist. Rico, yo, my little cousin said, I ain't got no cousin.
Nah, but you know how it's going. At the end of the day, these are people who are going to feel like their lives are at risk if they do go public with their names. So they're trying to protect them. If they really did do it, you know what I'm saying? So, during the investigation, my whole problem with this whole thing is he offered her 10 mil to not even do the lawsuit, to file the lawsuit. So, and that was in writing, allegedly.
Supposedly.
So you've given evidence to anybody to say that you potentially did this because you tried to settle before this actually hit.
Disagree.
No, if you read the text, you could see that the back and forth is on some kink shit.
Yeah, they on some kink shit.
Like, even the way she's talking to him, she's on some like
I want
kink
that
shit.
baby gravy.
Big-
I want your
big
big black
baby.
baby inside
I didn't even
me.
see this shit.
Yeah.
This is
What?
nuts.
Yeah, she's
This
like,
is some
yo,
unk shit. That's how
Like,
unks talk.
Tie the dog collar around my
yeah, I
neck.
want the dog, all
Like,
that.
she was just talking some kinky shit, but I think she was setting him up the whole time.
But even
But he's supposed to know that. That's his fault. He got to be on his dean.
I'm not disagreeing. But even to your point, though, with regards to the money, fam, if you got $100 million windfall coming your way, and you know that this could potentially throw that to the $10 million to you is getting off cheap.
Whatever it costs,
You get what I'm
just pay
saying?
it. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing, but whatever that is getting off cheap, whether you did it or you didn't. We know people in the entertainment field that have settled stuff that they didn't do.
Yep.
They've been advised by their lawyers to be like, yo, dog, pay that $1 million and move on with your life, as opposed to getting dragged in court. My man went through a suit. They told him, yo, if the judge awards the person $1,
It's over.
you got to pay their attorney fees. So now those attorney fees, you charging me $500 an hour, but on paper, yeah, I'm charging $2,500 an hour.
But you also got and add in loss of business. What's
All
it
of that.
called? The baby lost. He says
Reputation is shot.
the baby lost $75 million after that.
I could believe it.
Right now, that was just losing all your endorsements. Like when Rick Ross, Molly, all in her champagne, you losing your endorsement money, sponsorship money. So this $100 million is probably going to really be $200-300 million when you really add it up. Everything that's going to come in. Now you don't lost.
Tally up the money you think Chris Brown has lost over the last 15 years.
Hundreds of millions.
Over a mistake he made as a teenager or early 20s.
Mind you, she came out and said what it was. She gave her account of what happened.
She forgave him.
Yeah.
That don't mean nothing, though. Right?
No. So imagine if again, that was a personal thing, but imagine if somebody had foresight to say, yo, this individual, he couldn't do it with her because they both are mega stars. But let's say it was a nondescript woman and They said, yo, give her $2 million right now. Bro, he was the double mint kid. He's Michael Jackson reincarnate, bro.
I really feel like this shit helped his career.
You're bugging.
I really feel like when I look at it, it allowed him to be looked at as the bad guy and gave him room to grow because he was too perfect. Like if I look at somebody who started off as a child star and how they transcended, and I look at, for example, Justin Bieber, he looks nuts right now.
That's because of something else.
But I feel like he would have been in that same type of bracket. Like everybody who started young, they don't typically go through the process unscathed, right? And then they don't typically, like he's still kicking, 20 years later? It gave him something to work from, like work to build
Women
off
looking at him like, yo, you a kid. I like your music, but you a kid. And as he grew into his male manhood, now they like, oh, yeah, you could get it. It's a difference. But it didn't help his fam. He hasn't been able to perform on no Grammys. He just won a Grammy this year. They letting him slowly back in the game. He couldn't do the Michael Jackson tribute. He couldn't. Fam, Chris Brown would have been this generation's Michael Jackson,
yeah,
bro.
Easily.
I think that he still is, but I think what really helped push all of this was the adversity, unfortunately. That's what my thing is. It gave him something to build up off of. It gave him more drive. It gave, then he started rapping. I don't think Chris Brown would have ever rapped had this had never happened. In my opinion, in Chris Brown's legacy, he's like, yo, you know what? I'm the bad guy. I'm about to embrace being the bad guy for a little bit. Then he said, you know what? I want to wipe this stigma off me, and I just want to be who I am. And I feel like in a weird way, it kind of helped him be looked at as an imperfect man, which most likely relieved the stress because everybody who we have to think of as perfect fails and they fuck shit up for themselves.
I really don't think anybody. I think nowadays we don't really look at anybody as perfect.
We can't.
I think everybody
can't maintain a mystique.
Everybody has their scandal coming, and that's the thing. If you want to be big, you have to decide how big you want to be.
True.
There got to be a scandal.
I think that
but that was his scandal.
Like Michael Jackson couldn't be Michael Jackson today. Prince couldn't be Prince today because everybody got a cell phone. So you can't
been
keep
caught.
any level of mysticism or anonymity because if you go to dinner with somebody in the restaurant got a phone.
Yep.
You walking outside to your car, somebody has a phone. So you can't keep. Only person that I've seen and they pop out when they feel like it, Jay-Z and Beyonce pop out when they feel like it.
50 Cent.
50.
He's the only one that I really think. I feel like he's the only one that really is unscathed. And he could do it. He could make all the mistakes and be okay. I don't know what he did, but he
just think that
did something.
Shot 9 times. That'll do it.
He's like, yeah.
I don't put 50 in the tier with them.
No, like they got.
I don't put him in that A++ tier.
Nah, he's not.
You get what I'm saying?
He's working towards it.
No, he's a monster. He's amazing. But I just think that the world may not be as interested in 50 Cent as they were in Prince or Michael Jackson or Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he has the same cachet. I think he's a step under them or maybe 2 steps under them.
Not worldwide.
I don't think. And again, he's a megastar, but I just don't think they're as he not married. You know what I mean? Like, he don't keep like girlfriend scandal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think he's not as interesting as they are.
But you look at
the world.
But you look at what he's able to survive, right? So we had the Dr. Umar stuff that came out where he was alleged a deadbeat parent, right, to his daughter. Mm-hmm. But now you have the situation that we've been seeing, from when it first came out to even now. It just resurfaced over some sneakers. 50 Cent's relationship with his firstborn son, that is not a strong one or one to even be publicized, right? But he's able to survive it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a kid today came out on anybody and said, yo, you know what? My dad was never there for me. My dad never did this. And he was a megastar. They would be cooked. But he's able to just be all right.
I think it's your perspective of survival, though, because surviving just because he's continuing to make money, he's continuing to do shows, that looks good on the outside, but he's got battles that you're not seeing.
He's
behind closed doors,
privately fighting.
Yeah.
Not just that. I think that 50 Cent is one of the people that will go public and explain his side. I think a lot of people won't. They'll just let it rock and fester. He'll be like, nah, my son was doing this. I was giving my son $20K. He said it wasn't enough money. Nigga, you 20-something years old. I shouldn't have to support you no more. If I'm giving you $20,000 a month or whatever, it was some number that all of us would have been happy with at 20-something years old. If I'm supplying that or supplying your lifestyle. You want more? No, go get a job. You get what I'm saying? So he'll come out and defend himself, and then to the masses, that'll make sense because none of us had $20K a month in our early 20s that somebody was giving us for free.
I think he creates conversations because of that.
Exactly. So I don't think that they look at him like, oh, he a piece of shit, because he'll come out and explain his side. Whereas a lot of people won't.
So like even with the Shannon thing, I respect the game of her. Like I do.
Yes.
Only because this just as
She was 19.
not even her age, but if you think about it without your morals, think about it from a sex worker's position. If you're talking about what happened? You laughing at me? No, I'm saying a sex worker. Come on in. With time out.
No, you got a broken leg.
Oh, I appreciate your generosity. Thank you, boss. Good to see you. Like, I'm not knocking no sex workers. I'm not knocking anybody that does that. However, if, and the if is the biggest word here, if this man is not guilty of that stuff and you did that for a money grab, I don't respect that. If he's not guilty of sexually assaulting you, I don't respect that money grab. Now, you could spin this old nigga's world around, and if you can get $10 million out of him off some head and some bot, by all means, do what you do. But when you start, if she's lying on him, I don't respect that, because now you're turning this man's world upside down for a check, and I don't that's not cool. That could happen to any one of us.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's his scandal. That's his scandal that he has to live with because he decided to do that dumb shit.
We've all had sex before.
Yes, but
Wait, what dumb shit did he actually do?
You're a 50-year-old multimillionaire, and you met a 19-year-old girl at the gym, and you started to have a relationship with her.
A teenager.
It wasn't a fuck thing. It was a relationship.
Oh, he liked her.
So I think that's just bad judgment.
Step one. That's
and
it.
a lack of discernment.
If that step never happened, and you think about all the women that were probably throwing themselves at him,
you could pay for some
Other
box.
than a 19-year-old is nuts.
You could pay for some box.
and he chose the exact opposite of what he should have chose.
I think that's a mistake or a lack of discernment on his behalf.
No, I agree. I agree that it's definitely not ideal. but like, I mean, like the mistake outside of him actually liking a person. Like, if I stripped the fact that he liked her, what was the mistake other than the fact that she is obviously probably not mature enough to.
Would you be okay with your daughter doing it?
No.
Nuh-uh.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is his mistake in the whole thing. Was it the way he was communicating with her?
No.
Was it?
That's part of it.
His mistake was his.
No, that's one of the mistakes.
Well, I think his mistake was being involved with her, putting himself in a
First.
precarious situation. Period.
First mistake was his discipline.
0.
Number 2, how if I had $100 million, how I communicate with people.
I wouldn't trust any woman.
It would be different. Like, I think if I had $100, $200, $300 million, how you communicate with men, women, kids, whatever, it has to change, bro. You're in a different stratosphere. You got to carry yourself accordingly. So all of that stuff, he not regular no more.
That's hella sloppy the way he did it, honestly.
He still is regular, just his money ain't.
I'm going to choke you, baby. I'm going to. Could you hear this old nigga telling this?
That's all he knows, though. You know what I'm saying?
And people are into that. That's cool. I think at his level, you pay for that, and they go home.
So that's a mistake. Yeah, all right. Those are the mistakes. I mean, like, I don't agree with the whole age gap thing to begin with. But if I say, all right, cool, if I take away the lack of discernment in terms of who you should actually like or speak to, and I look at what's the actual mistakes that you made, was it the communication? Yes. Was it the fact that she already told you, no, she's not signing an NDA? That was probably the biggest mistake, a red flag, foreshadowing thing that you probably had in that whole situation.
And that's
so he deserves it then. Then I don't really feel bad, to be honest.
That's the part that probably turned him on.
I feel bad if she's lying.
I don't feel bad.
I still don't think he is, even if he made a million mistakes, if he did not do these things, I don't think that it's still, oh, he earned that. I don't believe
No,
that.
he deserved it.
If she's lying, or if part of it is true and she's omitting certain things, and he still allowed her to have whatever relationship they were having without an NDA, that's still on him.
I agree.
And I actually
Yeah.
I don't think he.
I don't even think she's wrong. Like he created a situation
That's what I'm saying.
such that he could be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
I think she's wrong as
That
fuck.
still don't mean that you should be taking. It still don't mean that the person that is taking advantage of you is not wrong. Let's say
Okay,
let's say I meet you and we both single.
You're right. You're right. She's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
wrong.
But you meet
but
her at what age though? Because
It
if
don't
50
matter. We can meet right now.
No,
Yeah.
no. But at 50 years old and she's 19, you should be able to control that game.
No, my point was gonna be me and you
she's
single.
wrong. No, I
Me
get
and
what
you
you're
single,
saying. Yeah.
right? And I'm telling you I want a relationship and I love you and I want to be with you and all these other things. And I'm lying, fam. Even if you allowed yourself to be manipulated, I'm still the bad guy for leading you on lying to you.
Yeah, but you also believed it. I think to a certain extent.
No, I'm saying you. I'm saying if me and you met
Mhm.
and I'm lying to you from the rip and I'm leading you on and you fall in love with me, right? I'm the bad guy.
I agree.
Oh, okay.
However, what I'm saying is that because she's young, she may not have been able to like display a certain level of discernment or critical analysis when talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that again, granted he's lying and he's the bad guy. I think if she was a little older, that wouldn't necessarily be the case because an older woman, I would think.
I think she would have spun him
Would have
even
been the
more. if
same
she
way.
was
Yeah.
older.
Look, this is
I
why.
don't
This is,
I think her mentals would have been sharper.
and she would have been on.
If the 20-year-old can have you, Dodo.
They would have reeled his ass.
I don't
right
know,
then.
but I think there may have been something about her.
My thing.
Yes.
And I think
was
it's the
chase.
age.
No,
But-
it's not.
but I
it's
I
not-
also
don't
think it's
the
the age.
I think it's the chase.
I agree with you.
Because if you telling me you're not going to do
He was having
something
sex with
that
old women.
everybody was going to do, I need to know why you're not going to do it. And that kind of drew him in. It was the chase because at some level, you don't got to chase women anymore. They're throwing themselves at you. Who are you not chasing?
I'm gonna tell you. Here's my thing.
Yo,
You
that
play with
little-
fire, you get burned.
You don't think so?
Right? You knew that it was hot. You knew the situation was a hot situation. That's why it's like,
Did he?
yeah, you.
No. I think he did, but like I don't
She
know the
said, I
guy.
ain't signing it. I'm not signing this NDA. That let you know it was fire. When you decided to touch the stove, if you decide to touch the stove, whatever happens after that happens, bro. Like that's how I look at it. And he's not an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Or
So
is he?
It's
Or is
unfortunate.
he?
That's what I'm saying.
Where is he?
I'm
right.
literally like
Right.
questioning.
the CTE.
Yeah, I'm questioning the acumen
I agree.
somewhere.
I'm agreeing. That's why I said if she was older, I think she would have spun him even more.
That's why he had to have done something. My thing is he had to do something like it because
Something like what?
whatever the fuck she's saying, to
Oh,
some
okay.
regard, to some regard, right, to some extent, only because there's no way you let a 19-year-old outsmart you.
Shannon Sharpe said publicly that Cat Williams interview that he did
Mm-hmm.
made him more money than any year that he's ever played in the NFL.
But
Right?
he's still a Hall of Fame.
Cool. They wear helmets. Nobody, Shannon Sharpe can't just be, now he can. But I don't think 8 years ago, Shannon Sharpe could just be walking down the street in Manhattan and people spot him out unless you're a man that knew football.
That's a
No, you had
unless you're a
Skip
man,
or
yeah.
watch.
If you're a
'Cause
man
I
that-
feel like I've always I could pick Shannon Sharpe and his brother out. You know what I'm saying?
You're a rare, people don't even know he had a brother. So you raring it.
Oh, well,
His brother was way better than him.
yeah.
People didn't even know he had a brother.
But football is America's sport.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but they wear helmets.
That's-
I think Shannon Sharpe
true.
is not as popular today as he ever was. I do think that he was known, and my main thing is that after these football games, he was still fucking mad women, right? No matter where he went for 16 seasons back then. I mean, 16 games a season back then.
and he said it.
Yeah,
He-
so
he
like
said it before.
you
Believe
got
that.
like you should know women to an extent, you
I
know.
agree with that.
And I can only imagine what they do in football and when it comes to NFL, but in college, they give you speeches every year about every single woman to let you know how they come at you in different angles and what's new, what laws are now, have been implemented.
At the big time schools, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so now you knew, bro.
he
Like
wasn't that one.
you've
Said
been
not Western Kentucky.
He wasn't that one.
Bumblefuck
Yeah,
State.
he wasn't that one. But I'm agreeing with you. I think that he has 20 years of celebrity under his belt, and he should have had way more discernment, way more tact in how he handled himself.
I think that 19-year-old box was hitting for him.
Yeah.
It was something
I'm not-
different.
I'm not.
She had something
Disagree.
different for him.
See, he wasn't a big time recruit. Shannon Sharpe wasn't a big time All-American, All-State dude. He wasn't that. His brother was that.
At least early 20s though.
But he's been rich for a long time. He
25 years
he
minimum.
played special teams and got lucky and
Minimum.
made the team. He told the story. Like, he wasn't this all-star recruit that got highly drafted and all that stuff. He's been around women on a high level for 30 years. We can say that, whatever the case may be.
Of course.
I'm not trying to bail him out.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's him in his respective field. I think that he's the most popular he's ever been, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You know what happens? I'm gonna tell you.
20-year-olds know who Shannon Sharpe is. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, bro. Like, yo.
It's because he's in podcasting,
Yes.
actually. Because you have to think about who it's for the younger demographic. You have to think
Yes.
about who watches it. I actually
Bro,
agree.
think about what we saying. He interviewing who's he had? Amber.
Everybody.
He's had Amber Rose.
Everybody.
He's had, you know what I mean? People that are not in his demo, he's interviewing them now.
And he's doing well.
And he's killing.
Yeah. It's not like he's corny.
Cat
doing it.
Williams just sent him on a whole different trajectory. So I'm saying this. We all, I think, are in agreement that it's just bad judgment on his behalf.
I just want to know if it was really lit. Like,
Fame is a drug, bro. That shit is
I think
different.
it was really lit, bro. That's what I think it was.
I don't think it's a fame thing.
The box was hitting.
I wouldn't have known about her box.
I just
Yo, dog, her face, I saw her face.
She looked mad young.
She looks like a child to me.
Yeah.
That's a little weird then.
You're
Super
saying-
mid.
you're
I haven't
saying
seen her at all, by the
19,
way.
though.
No, she looks like a kid,
Soon
bro.
as you say 19, you should know her face does not look like a woman.
First take, everybody has stepped back
What
from
if
him.
this is all part of his 100 mil to be 125?
How?
Because he's gonna beat it. If he beats it, then he's gonna look like the GOAT.
No, not even beat it. I always have this theory that, like, at some point in time that we know everything is a show and everything is smoke and mirrors, somebody's going to set themselves up so big to come out as the hero, and that's going to be the new act. And everybody's going to be doing that.
It's Chris
That's
Brown.
interesting.
You never get
Huh?
over sexual assault allegations, bro.
If you win,
Kobe Bryant died, bro, and they were bringing up the allegations. And look, the prosecutor
true.
publicly stated in the Kobe Bryant trial that they did not have enough evidence to take him to grand jury.
I can't see.
He
it.
said, yo, they carried it out because the city and the
Didn't put
town
them
was
on.
making so much money
We gotta
that
speak.
all the restaurants were booked. Like, if you see her face, but Kobe, like, all the restaurants were booked, the hotels were booked, all the media was there. They was making money, the town.
She kind of look like
They
Blue
stretched
Jazz.
They stretched.
That's
If you glance,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can.
with my vision.
And they
you
showed
know.
a close up of her face. She looks like a kid in the face.
That's what I'm saying. Once you say 19, you should know
Bro,
it's going to look young.
good, bro.
So
Nah, there's some
I'm rich,
19s that look
I'm
25.
into
know what
some
19s
kinky
look
shit.
Like.
Bro, if I'm rich and I'm into some kinky shit, I'm gonna pay for my kinky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I'm gonna pay for it. Look, Spike Hill me, all that shit that they be on. I'm gonna pay for it. You go home. It is what it is. It's transactional. Yo, listen. When I was 30, I wouldn't engage with a 19-year-old girl because they don't have the mental fortitude to talk to me. I like conversation, my nigga. Like, that's how you gonna turn me on. What's she talking about with him?
Well, he be talking. You know,
She said you keep
I mean,
manipulating.
You never
me."
know what.
They was talking about manipulation.
Yo, fam.
All right, I'm gonna stop.
Yo, I'm
Skip.
Listen,
Skip.
He might not be that bright. I'm like,
we've heard Shannon talk enough to know that he at least
Right enough.
has some sense, bro. He ain't a dumb dude.
he could
like,
also be well coached. He is coachable.
which means you got some intelligence. Fam, they will walk away from him. My nigga R. Kelly is the greatest, bro. Niggas don't play R. Kelly music.
He was wilding.
Except me.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is there will be some people that will turn their backs on you. And not just that, you getting your money from sponsorships and you getting your money from ad deals. There are some people that are not going to support you. That affects him.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he saved his bread.
That affects you. You get what I'm saying? Again, I think that's the part that I'm saying. If the lady is lying, that's
It's
the part
fucked
that I don't think is cool.
But I do think if she's lying and it's proven that she's lying, I think there's a greater redemption story behind that.
Indeed.
And like, really, I can't even think of anybody who's had a really good redemption story. I know y'all were talking earlier about like Michael Jackson,
Most of
Chris
it be 50-50.
Brown.
It was gray. Only person that I've seen that it wasn't gray was Jack Black. What's his name?
What
Jack
happened
Black?
to him?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Oh,
Johnny Depp. Because she
Yeah.
was wilding and they got her like, yo, and they through it.
Yeah, yeah.
So outside of that, most of the stuff is still areas of gray,
But-
where some people gonna believe her and some people gonna believe
Yeah.
him.
And
Either way,
she's
he's-
white and he's black, so you know
That
he's
part
got
too.
a higher.
Well,
hurdle.
she's
even
also
that other
19.
guy.
Well, here's the thing. Even if he does win, she still was 19. So they're still gonna be like,
He's
yo,
still tarnished.
you're
He's
crazy.
still
I
Like,
didn't even
tarnished.
think about
I
that.
don't think he's tarnished in for the age thing. I think people will look at him and be like, all right, well, that's just your kink, but I don't think that tarnishes him because she was
I
still
do.
over age.
I do, bro.
I don't know. It's
1 year.
18.
1 year.
Teen.
I would have knew it was a money grab.
Mm.
I just want that big black baby inside, man. I want you to put a big black baby inside. You trying to get knocked up.
Yeah.
A big black. That scares me.
Multiple times. Said it. She said it multiple
And
times.
for the white
scares
lady
me.
to keep talking about the black baby and all that.
I hope he gets his life together.
But that's it. Again,
That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
It'll be fine. I think this is just it's just so new right now.
No, they keep putting out information.
he gonna
every
win
day.
though. He gonna
The
win.
last bit of information I heard was not good.
What was it?
I think we can fact check it. I've heard from 2 different people though. They said that the newest thing that came out, she told him like, "Yo, you took the condom off
Oh, I
and
saw
you put
that.
it in my butt, and I told you I didn't want it in my butt." And was like, "Yo, I didn't like that, Shannon. You should have never did that." Blah 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 blah. And his reply was, "Call me." He didn't refute it. He didn't nothing. He said, "Call me."
She didn't like.
So,
she didn't.
fam, if we having sex and she ain't wanted in the hoo-ha and he took the hoo-ha, it's a tough conversation to have.
But I'm not saying
Tough
you
conversation.
know me.
Are you gonna say did she go back?
Did she go back?
It don't matter.
I figured that was what you were gonna
I
say.
just
doesn't
wanna-
Well, yeah, because
It
Doesn't
she.
matter.
It doesn't
The initial one, I thought when I first read it, she said
Don't
this had
matter
happened.
legally.
That it happened multiple times. Multiple times or multiple different occasions. There was
I didn't know
there
that.
was there was more than one on the first article that I read for sure, which is why I was like, oh, this is a lie. Times.
Oh,
like-
it definitely happens.
Can't say that.
Wives get their husbands all the time.
That's true. I have an ex that got one of her boyfriends.
Yeah.
So that's
No, it's a hard line to tell because no is no.
But was it a no?
That's the point.
Or did you not like it after you couldn't shit?
that's the. Oh my God.
She liked it then.
I'm just curious.
You a wild boy.
Your boy.
I can't even say.
Yeah, I'm
nothing
good
about
on that
it.
one, fam. You bugging. Look, you bugging. Yeah, I think that I think it's just a scary thing. I think what tainted it was the dude Busby. Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? She might have did a bad job in selecting him.
Yeah.
Busby. Yo, dog, you just tried the same shit with Jay-Z, my nigga. You targeting black men. You trying to extort us. He came behind closed doors and asked for some bread. The same shit you did with Jay-Z. And you trying to bring this anonymous person out the same way you did with Jay-Z. It has some similarities. Only thing, Jay-Z never seen the girl or had a relationship with the girl. You was fucking this girl.
They also
So that's a difference. It's not synonymous.
If I was Jay-Z, I would have called him and be like, say, my boy, don't if your slack jawed ass don't get my name out your mouth.
Yo, fam.
Cause you gotta think it just ended. You know what I mean? Like you don't want nobody resurrecting that.
No, it ain't in. I think he's still.
Well, no, I'm saying like,
homeboy.
Yeah.
well, like
Want his money.
it has died down like
True.
considerably.
Definitely. I think he
So-
got him disbarred though. He working on getting him disbarred in New York. Yeah, like
Oh, he has been
yes,
disbarred.
Yes. It's yeah. You not playing with regular niggas. I ain't no regular black. You think I'm a regular
I'm
black?
a regular
Nah,
black.
No, I'm in bed with the people.
They were saying that Shaq was allegedly offering a lot of money to get dirt on Shannon.
Oh, that's up, Matt Barnes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. And then, then they started playing like different clips. I guess I don't know what happened between Shannon and Shaq, but Shaq had posted like this long like message or comment just going at him, telling him that I guess Shannon called him jealous at some point in time. And so then allegedly Matt Barnes did come out, or somebody allegedly came out and said that they were
Remember
looking
that.
for money, or Shaq was looking for money offering money looking for dirt.
I remember that he told him like, "Yo, I was in the tops in my field.
Yep.
I
Oh,
wasn't
Yep.
never at the top in your
Be
field."
jealous
Yeah.
of
I
who?
remember
Yep.
I
that.
remember that. I remember that.
If that comes out, that's wicked.
Black men doing that shit
That's
to other black men.
super
I think
wicked.
that's trash. Some of these
One of the
dudes
strongest
will
shit.
finish you. Some of these dudes will finish you.
I wonder when is his birthday.
He's a Pisces.
Shaq.
You thought he was a Sag.
He's a Pisces.
Yeah.
Shannon might be a Sag.
Because that means he been stewing.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yo, them Sages
That's
different,
been
bro.
stewing.
That vindictiveness in them Sages is different, bro.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Word. It's up.
Well, that's
Pisces are the same way.
Oh, that's,
Yo,
yeah.
it's
Right.
up.
They don't forget. They don't forget.
So when you get that much money and you have that much power, maybe like that is what gets you off. It's as far as like the Shaq putting out a call to get me dirt. Because if you have everything in the world, you can access everything in the world, you can do everything in the world. Maybe that is your power to completely crush somebody.
Yeah.
Tear down their business.
I think it's both. I think like I'm a you ever watch Billions?
Oh, yeah.
They used to get off on that. Like they get off on
Yeah.
that. If you watch Wall Street, the old Wall Street with Michael Douglas, like, yo, dog, I'm gonna end you. You playing with me? Got it. I'm gonna end you. And I heard that shit is real in that Wall Street circle. I heard they will really try to crush you.
That shit's worse than death.
Like I know, I know a bunch of dudes. Like I'm talking about that was the Don Dada in their field. If somebody start hitting a side, third side, fourth side joint, they'll take it personally. Get you traded. Niggas get traded, bro, because you pop one of my sides. You marry, bro, and nigga get you traded. So, you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of that stuff, like, I'm gonna crush you because you pop one of my girls.
I mean, look, competition is a
Absolutely,
necessity. It's a necessity.
Yeah, if you look at it as competition.
They look at it as it.
Yeah, but no, if we
It's not
both got to look
competition.
at it as competition.
No. You don't have to take me for competition
No,
for me to
not
take you.
I'm saying we have to look at this as a sport. But if you're looking at this as a fucking battle for the
it's
rest
a
of our
sport
life,
for
I don't
me.
want part of it.
Look, fucking is a sport.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it. Is a sport, right? All of this shit is a sport. Power, money, that's a sport. So if I like whatever it is, the people who I'm a firm believer in this. The only ones who climb the top are the ones who are the most competitive, or climb the ladder are the ones who are most competitive, and they're willing to do almost anything to anybody to win.
I don't think so. I think I agree with you that competition, especially in men, we thrive off of competition, right? I'm not disagreeing with you. However, even in that,
And to even at 49 years old.
unfortunately, but even in
That's
that,
how that happened.
even in that competition, I'm still not playing dirty. I'm still not bringing your family or your kids or your wife in it. I still got morals. You can have morals and integrity and compete like a dog. You don't have to stoop to the other lows to win.
Unethical shit.
Nah, I look at it like you do. You do.
See, that's what I'm saying. I would never want
You
to go
do.
against a nigga like you.
Because
I
you
wanna
got
do fair,
nah.
fair shit.
So here, I'm gonna use bodybuilding as an example, right? You can have a great physique, you can work out, you can eat right, but that's why they have two different brackets. They have natural, and they have the
That's a good
steroid one, right? Where the steroid one,
Steroid bracket.
the steroid,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Enhanced. Quote.
yeah, performance enhancement drugs. So when you have the biggest bodybuilding, it's not the natural one, because the natural ones can't compete with them. They're willing to take drugs. They're willing to destroy their organs, their bodies, just to be great. So when you take this one who wants to play fair by the rules and this one who's willing to do whatever it takes, they can't even, you know what I'm saying, compete with each other. It's just two different leagues at two different heights. So if you want to play nice with the morals, then you got to play with the people who are playing the moral game with you.
You don't know how until you engage with somebody where they're willing to go.
Now you guys, I look at the
You don't
people
know
at the
that.
top, like, yo, you at the top, I know
Me
how
and you
far
can get in
you
a
are.
fight, right?
Uh-huh.
If me and you got in a fist fight, I like you. I'm not gonna stab you. But you could be like, no, once it's on, it's on. I'm gonna stab him, I'm gonna stomp him, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna shoot him if I get an opportunity to do so. Yeah, everybody not there. So you don't know how somebody plays until y'all get in the ring and y'all engage. And now it's on. You like, damn, my nigga, you going there? I would never go there.
Yeah,
And they
I'm
like,
going
yo,
there.
so? I didn't stop there. You just don't know some more shit coming. Yeah, you don't know
tried to hit
next
me with
week
the
you gonna get
car,
really,
like-
like next week you gonna get some more shit when they subpoena you. Like, you get what I'm saying? I just think that
I think it kind of depends on how a person is wronged. If it's a you
1000%.
wronged me type person
1000%.
versus just being
agree.
competitive.
True.
Mm.
I
Because
agree.
if you speak on or act on or hurt somebody's family or their
It's up.
wife or
It's
their
up.
kid or if you taking money out of their home, just anything, people who may just be normal, calm.
Start playing with niggas' kids
Yeah.
and stuff. It's
But
different.
that's D-leaguers. They're not in NBA.
What do you mean?
Like the normal calm people, they can be great, but they can't be at the top apex realm.
Oh
How do
no,
you think they get-
that's actually yeah.
No.
How do you think that?
How do you
'Cause
think, how do you think they got calm?
Huh?
Yeah.
That's
Why
how
you
they
think
got
that?
calm. That's their top.
No. There's some people who are calm that are apex. They in the NBA, not the D League. They don't want to
Steph?
see no more war.
Where's Steph?
Steph is an apex.
He's calm.
Nah, he's not calm. He's
Barely.
calculated. If you know that you have a strong moral compass, don't go to war with a killer. So
What he's saying is you don't know they're a killer until you get in the war.
now you could know.
No.
Now
you're
you can
wrong.
know.
I think some people you don't know.
You got
You had a long-term relationship before?
Yeah,
And y'all broke up or y'all still together?
we broke up.
Was she the type of person to go for your juggler?
No, but I knew that from the beginning.
That's what I'm about to tell you. You don't know until it happens.
No,
You
like
got
the one,
lucky, nigga.
no, the one I got now, I
You
know
got
what
lucky,
time
nigga.
it is. Yo, the one I got right now, shit goes. I know it's already. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I could. That's the thing, though. I like it. Like for me, it's a sport.
First of all, I would like to bring age into this. We talking.
Yeah.
That is true.
You gotta let him go when he's doing that.
Yeah,
fucking
you're right.
rah-rah
You're right.
shit,
You're right.
'cause
You're right.
Yeah.
I see that.
He got to get punched.
Don't
and
no
all that
grown
other stuff.
person want to do all of that.
No,
child.
nobody.
Not even that, but you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They do it. They
It's
do it.
just
the
so
most.
much other stuff that gets affected by that. Like you got kids, bro. Like who the fuck want to involve their kids in your quote unquote
My war.
Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
video game shit? Like that's nobody want to be
I
dealing
think-
with that.
I think that what happens is, everything is at risk for the apex. They only care about winning.
And what I'm telling you is, when you get to a certain level and you see that it's something bigger than you out here, you still
Mhm.
in ego mode. Like I want to fight. I'm going to crush you. When your kids start getting affected and your kids
Right.
private school, now they in public school because the chick done did some shit to you. Like, yo, it's not about you winning the game no more.
I'll be on my
Not
walker.
even that. What,
It's not about that shit.
I'll make another one.
You take it to your kid's mother. All right, saying stuff to make your kid think things about you.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Bro. It's
You're
not
not
about
even-
you no more.
It's not about
No,
you. at all.
no. I mean, all I'm saying is that there are some people, and I believe the ones that sit at the highest thrones, what we're talking about is a compass that they don't care for.
Disagree.
And they be like, yo, listen, as far as it needs to go is as far as it will go, and as far as I will take it.
Yeah, but what are they protecting at that point?
Where
then?
do you think Jay-Z is?
That Jay-Z is exactly what I'm saying. Like me and Jay-Z, we like this. That's why I
Right.
be like
You're not like that.
squinting at him a
If
little
that's
bit.
the case, when Kanye said whatever Kanye said, Jay-Z had the ability to go,
Mm.
and he didn't go.
No, because Kanye West made it obvious.
No.
He started saying,
Damn,
I
you're
know Jay-Z want to
contradicting,
kill
you're
me.
moving the goalposts. Kanye
Nah.
West disrespected him on a level that any man in the world is not tolerating. And you are at a certain level, my nigga, where you jumping out your emotional box is gonna hurt you and your family.
No, I
So
didn't
you
say
will
that though.
tame that shit.
But we're not talking about jumping out of your emotional box. We're talking about how far you're willing to go. He might be like, you know what? I'm gonna let everything slide for the next 5 to 10 years, but I'm not gonna forget, and he's gonna pay for it in somehow, some way, some shape, some form. So just because you're calm doesn't mean you're not gonna react. That means you just being more strategical about your approach. Sometimes revenge takes some time.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
he's a
Sometimes you got to be
savage.
well thought out. Sometimes it got to, and he's a savage. Yup. So
Nah, that go.
just because you look, just because you think I let it slide, don't mean I let it slide. You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z's not gonna let it slide. Like you see what's happening with the attorney that we talking about.
I think, but you have to,
He reacted immediately.
I think as you get older,
'Cause
Rico,
that one was different.
you will.
That wasn't disrespect. That was an attack. Like you tried to financially attack me. Kanye West is talking about sucking dick.
There's
and
more
shit,
than a
like-
financial attack.
Yeah, you're talking about Kanye
Talking
West.
about my-
that he
you talking about a
invested in.
financial attack to a nigga that can't spend their money in his lifetime
Right.
versus somebody disrespecting my wife and my children.
It's just the word.
You're not
though.
putting money over your children.
Yeah.
No, but it's just a word though. It's just a word from somebody that they like, all right, let it go. I'm gonna get to him later. But this person who's trying to publicly destroy my image, which also affects my kids because my kids we are a brand
It
together.
affects my kids.
Right?
It
So
does.
so that attack that was financial is it goes for it stretches.
But he got. What he's saying is that he has hella money. So even if
A financial
something
attack is
ever
nothing to me.
happened, that will be
What they
a
gonna sue him for?
crumb
$50 million?
of money.
Nah, but like, let's
$100 million?
No,
I'm
no,
still
no.
richer than
not just
avarice.
when I say financial, I don't mean just a dollar amount. What I really mean is it affects the brand, right? So my kids have my last name. Now, if I'm looked at as a person, and we already see what Diddy is being looked as, now my kids have a father who's being looked at somebody in that light. That affects them too. So it affects the whole family, what they were trying to do, especially they were trying to put a stamp on it. Kanye West was just, ranting and venting, which is what he's been known to do. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna let him get this off, and I'm gonna handle him later. But right now, let's get rid of this.
Yeah, but your response also affects the brand and the family
we could
too.
agree to
So
disagree.
you
We
can
could agree to disagree.
I think as you get older, at some point, you will understand that and I had to learn this. Every fight is not worth fighting,
Yeah, what are we talking
That's
about?
Kanye.
and like
Bro, that's ego shit.
it's
As you get older, your ego will lessen, bro.
So look, if every fight is not worth fighting, but what I'm trying to say is that the people at the top still fight. At some point in time, it doesn't have to be so much of a catastrophic situation to make that person fight. You feel me? Jay-Z right now is fighting in a different way.
Listen to this.
We're
Listen to
not
this.
disagreeing.
Let me explain something.
I didn't say every fight.
Let me explain something to you.
I said let
you don't-
Kanye go and attack them. But we're going to get to him later.
If you don't develop a level of diplomacy and you don't take every fight, you won't even get up that ladder.
And you wait, say it again. And
If you don't
take it?
develop a level of diplomacy, you won't even get up that ladder.
that's true.
Yeah.
Because your ego gonna be running you to the point where you're gonna be fighting every single motherfucker that comes across your desk. And sometimes I might gotta do business with him and I despise him,
that part.
but I gotta do business with him. So again, that's a level of maturity and a level of growth that you'll get there, God willing.
But we're not talking about that, right? We're not talking about taking on every single
You
fight.
said they apex predators, and you don't get to this height unless you're an apex
Unless
predator.
you're willing to do something to that level. I didn't say you have to be fulfilled and entertained by everything that comes across your desk. I'm saying you can't put your gloves down. That's what I'm trying to say. At any point in time, you cannot put your gloves down. You put your gloves down, you're going to get punched. This is what happened with Shannon Sharpe, right? He puts,
Punch is a part of growth.
I mean,
Yeah.
but are you going to punch back now? Like
Sometimes
like
not.
Yeah,
y'all saw the movie Taken?
Of course.
All right. So at one point in time, he ran into the spot, and I guess the one dude that was his friend was
French dude.
was coordinating with the people who stole his daughter. And you know what happened? When he let the French dude grab the gun, he said, "You've been sitting at a desk for so long,
You
you
forgot-
forgot the weight of a gun when it's loaded and it's not."
Mhm.
That's what happens when you take your gloves off. You're now susceptible of everything. You have to stay battle ready when you are at that top, because when you're at the top, first of all, you're already dealing with so many more different nuances coming your way, right? Now you have to select them accordingly, and I ain't saying fight the world because you can't, but you have to be battle ready at all times.
You got
Yo, you never. Yo, you know what?
No, you have an army, bro. Like
You're not seeking peace, my nigga.
yeah.
Ooh,
I
you
don't-
start
I don't-
getting older, bro.
You
Peace
want-
is
yes.
worth more than your ego.
I'm trying to tell you that
Peace
they
is
don't have
paramount.
peace up there.
Why do you think that?
no,
You can't have peace up there.
Listen to his theory. Why don't they have peace up there? Why can't they have peace up there?
Because to be at the top, there's a level of you can't get satisfied. And what we're talking about, peace comes with satisfactory. Like, I'm cool, I'm fulfilled.
Why can't they be fulfilled?
Because like the fucking shit is nonstop.
What? What's the shit? Be
Like,
specific.
The ladder is nonstop. To sustain being at the top is nonstop. It's something that doesn't end.
Cool, but that don't mean it's all you always at war.
Well, what are we talking about in terms of what hierarchy?
That's what I was wondering.
Are
You
we-
could be
are we
Warren
talking about-
Buffett,
are we
bro.
talking- are
You
we-
know, you could be Warren Buffett. We playing
Warren
at the
Buffett
highest
is
level.
at war. At 95 years old, he's been
No,
at
he's
war, but
not.
he's at a different type of
With
war.
whom?
I'm not there. I can't even
Nobody.
tell
He
you.
might be at war with himself, trying to
Right.
beat himself.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying.
And
It's no
listen,
peace there.
But you're not gonna box yourself. You're
Yes,
not going to war with yourself in an animalistic way to beat yourself.
Well,
Fam, it's some people that get to a certain level, right? So for everybody, it's different. Some niggas are Jason Statham plays the apex nigga in every movie, and he's satisfied being a beekeeper or the janitor, and he gave that life away.
Like the
What I'm
beekeeper.
telling you is, fam, it's some people that they was hunters. I'm talking about they was the best at what they did, and they started having kids. And those kids calmed them to a peaceful place where I don't want to do that shit no more.
But that's not what that's not what I'm talking about.
You said it never dies.
For somebody who has that mindset, who's at that top, that person who had that kid, guess what he starts doing? He starts stepping down in his role, stepping down in the company. He starts looking for retirement or even searching to stop work.
Not necessarily true, bro.
Bro,
I can start
often-
delegating my responsibilities to other people
That's
so that
still
I
war,
can.
though.
Have peace.
That's still, even if you're a
You got it,
general,
bro.
there's two different brackets. There's people who want success and ultimately want peace and fulfillment. There's somebody who's usually at the top, doesn't care for peace, does not even thrive off peace, and cannot even live with peace.
That's two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that person who's on the opposite end of the spectrum is usually going to be at the top because he's willing to be consistent. There's no fulfillment. There's an edge, and there's never going to be something where there's never a reason for him to stop climbing. For me,
He gonna stroke out.
What are you talking about? He's a fool.
Yeah.
He's a fool. He's a egotistical,
saying-
narcissistic fool.
but we're not. Michael Jordan, for example, right? Michael Jordan is a competitor. Michael Jordan will compete. Michael Jordan will stay up. Excuse me.
What about peace? You don't think he saw?
Kobe Bryant is Michael Jordan reincarnate. You agree with that?
No, I think that Kobe Bryant is the more balanced version of Michael Jordan, who was seeking a family, who was seeking that stability and fulfillment that you were speaking of. Michael Jordan wasn't in his plans, or it wasn't high up in his plans. His plans was to be the best he could ever be, and maybe anybody who's ever doubted him that one time that he didn't make the basketball team in high school, he wanted to show the world that he could be great. Floyd Mayweather is that type of person who will wake up at 5 a.m. because in his interviews, this is what he said, I want to be working while they're sleeping. He's worried about being the best. Maybe at some point in time, they try to sit down and relax, but they realize that they can't, so they start doing other things.
So why Kobe don't fit that narrative for you? Everybody in the NBA said Kobe is the hardest working person they've ever seen in their lives. They said, dog, when people stop after 2 hours, Kobe's in the gym for another 3 and 4 hours. So why he don't fit that? You knew where I was going, so you slipped the jab.
No.
Because Kobe Bryant found a level of success in basketball, and then he also found a higher level of peace in his children.
I don't think he fit that because Michael Jordan was willing to fight his teammates.
Kobe fought Shaq.
Yeah.
Nah, but Kobe fought Shaq at a whole Michael Jordan,
Kobe fought a bunch of them niggas.
Look, there's a difference between somebody who is willing to risk it all. I don't think Kobe was willing to risk it all.
He fought Shaquille. Michael Jordan smacked Steve Kerr. Odin Polynice said Shaq threw a real punch at Kobe that hit him and it hurt. He got in the front of the punch.
You're
It
talking
hurt
about
him.
how many Kobe fights can you talk about?
He fought Shaq.
It doesn't matter. How many Kobe Michael Jordan fought. He had fear in niggas' hearts in practice.
You also have to think about they played in 2 different times.
Damn, he's
Not where-
smacking nobodies, my nigga. Kobe is telling Shaq, fuck you, let's fight.
That
You
doesn't.
comparing Steve Kerr to Shaq?
But no, what I'm saying is that Michael Jordan hit multiple men. We can only name one person that Kobe actually went to battle with.
That's not true.
Wait, hold on.
Michael Jordan was on the
Guys.
USA team and had niggas scared to miss
Wait,
practice.
Wait, hold on.
Like,
Speaking of basketball,
bro.
have y'all heard Vernon Maxwell?
Said
Tell the
Hakeem
story.
Olajuwon smacked his ass.
He is hilarious.
Boy,
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Amazing.
He said Dream smacked the fuck
Smacked
out
the
of
fly
him.
out. And Vernon Maxwell's a nutcase.
Yes. Oh,
said he-
real
he
nut.
said
You
he
ain't
ti-
seen this?
He said he went and got the banger though.
Yeah.
He said he went and got the hair. He said he went and got the hair.
Vernon, like I remember like growing up, like hearing people
Yes.
talk
He
about
was a wild
Vernon
boy. He
Maxwell.
was a wild boy.
But I never, I guess I didn't see it as a kid, like on the court or whatever.
Nah, he used
but
to go.
oh my, I see
And
it.
that's when you could fight in the NBA.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Like, you could really fight in the NBA. Now these niggas be pump faking.
Yeah.
Back then, niggas was putting their hands up. Yeah, niggas was putting their hands up.
Man, shout out to
For
them.
real.
Like they're adding him to I
Yeah.
think their show.
The Pivot, right? One of the shows.
No.
All the Smoke.
Yeah,
All the
that
Smoke.
one.
I
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
on All the Smoke now.
That's what's up.
Oh
Yeah.
no, his storytelling,
Yeah.
A1.
A1.
Vernon
Vernon
Maxwell, A1.
Monster.
Yeah. But speaking of the pivot, we're gonna pivot to this next topic.
Hopefully. Yeah.
So I sent this to Alan the other day. I followed this lady, and she was saying how the U.S. government is now considering giving women a $5,000 bonus to have a child. And one, I think that's a stupid ass idea. 1, 2, and 3. That's my top 3 reasons for it being stupid as fuck. But it does indicate that the federal powers that be are concerned about the birth rate, are concerned about like substantiating the population, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And that obviously has financial implications when it comes to Social Security, other social safety nets, so on and so forth. So yeah, $5,000, that's a stupid as fuck suggestion. Go back to the drawing board.
1 year formula.
Not even.
What are you talking about?
And they probably gonna tax it.
Damn, formula 15.
My formula was like $40 for one tub.
Formula $15 a bottle.
Yeah.
15 a bottle.
$40.
Oh, you was using powder.
Yeah.
I was using liquid.
I did the
15
liquid ones.
a
No,
bottle
hell
and
no.
18 in some spots.
I did,
Jesus.